Okay, so get this. This week, I swear, I'm just walking down the street, and I see this guy, right, with a table full of crystals and incense and, like, the whole, the
whole 9 yards.
The whole mystical shebang, yeah.
Right.
And he starts in on me, about their powerful vibration and how they can, like, align my chakras and all this stuff.
Oh, geez.
And I kid you not, I almost bought a healing amethyst.
Way.
For, like, $50.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Did you do it?
Thankfully, no. I snapped out of it.
Good.
But it got me thinking about, all this stuff out there that promises, like, quick fixes and enlightenment.
Right.
And it's funny you should mention that because we've had a ton of listeners writing in wanting us to, like, really do a deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
And all this, mysticism, cults, self-help.
Interesting.
Where's the line between, someone genuinely looking for something and getting completely taken advantage of?
Yeah. I mean, this stuff is everywhere, right? And I think it's something that, like, we all kind of grapple with on some level. And it's interesting, the stuff we're looking at today for this deep dive really digs into some of the, like, potential downsides to this kind of thinking, especially when it comes to separating true spiritual exploration from just schemes designed to empty your wallet.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, think about those, like, ancient wisdom retreats.
Oh, yeah.
That cost, like, thousands of dollars.
Oh, totally.
Are they tapping into something real?
Right.
Or are they just preying on people's desire for, like, easy answers?
And that's actually something that one of the articles really highlighted was how certain groups can actually use these, like, mystical concepts as straight up marketing tactics.
No kidding.
They'll dangle the promise of, like, secret knowledge to lure people in.
That makes sense.
Especially people who are maybe feeling, a little lost or vulnerable.
Yeah, but I mean, see, I think there's a difference between that kind of situation and someone who's genuinely trying to, like, explore their own spirituality.
Okay, sure.
Like, I do yoga, right?
Yeah.
And I meditate sometimes.
Okay.
And it helps me feel grounded.
Yeah, yeah.
But is that the same thing as joining some group that demands all your money?
Right.
And makes you isolate yourself from all your friends and family? I don't think so.
No. And to be fair, the sources do acknowledge that there's a spectrum here, But the article on cults really digs into how these organizations specifically can use really subtle forms of manipulation and control to, like, exploit their members.
Yeah.
They often target people who are struggling with mental health issues or people who are going through, a difficult time in their lives.
Okay.
And they'll promise them this, like, incredible sense of belonging and purpose, but at a very steep price, right?
Yeah, that's where it gets scary.
It's like you're seeking connection, but then you end up in this situation where you're actually being, like, controlled and exploited.
And one of the sources told this really chilling story.
Oh, yeah.
About a woman who got involved in this group.
Okay.
That claimed to, like, unlock people's superhuman potential.
Oh, geez.
Right.
Huh?
And she ended up totally isolated from her family and friends.
Wow.
Convinced that they were, like, holding her back.
Oh, no.
From achieving this, like, supposed greatness.
Oh, man.
And it took her years.
Really?
To break free and rebuild her life.
That is just heartbreaking.
That's tough.
It really makes you wonder, like, how can you tell the difference between a legitimate self-help group or course and one that's just, hype and manipulation?
I mean, the good news is that one of the articles did give some actual, like, practical tips.
Okay.
Which nice.
Good.
It basically boils down to, like, looking for evidence-based approaches.
Okay.
Doing your research on the leader's credentials.
Right. And being wary of any program that promises, like, instant results or demands total obedience.
So it's like that saying, if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is.
It probably is, yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And even with legitimate self-help, there's still a risk of falling into, like, confirmation bias. Right?
Oh, yeah, confirmation bias.
We tend to gravitate towards information that, like, confirms our existing beliefs, even if it's not actually accurate or helpful.
So, like, if I believe in the power of crystals, right?
Yeah.
I might just ignore any evidence that suggests otherwise.
Totally.
I'll only read the books.
Yep.
And follow the influencers that reinforce what I already think.
100%. And that's one of the things that the source really cautions against.
Okay.
Confirmation bias can send us down a real rabbit hole of misinformation.
Makes sense.
Especially in the world of, like, mysticism and self-help, where there's so much subjective interpretation.
So it's not about, like, dismissing all mystical or spiritual ideas completely, right? It's more about, like, approaching them with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Totally.
And, critical thinking.
Yeah, and remembering that, like, true spiritual growth, right?
Yeah.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
It's about self-discovery, not blind faith or quick fixes.
That's a really good point. Because I think so much of this comes down to discerning between what really resonates with you personally and what might actually be like a cleverly disguised trap.
100%, yeah. And, for those out there who are, like, looking for a more grounded approach to personal growth, we always recommend our buddy Micky's channel, Mickytolife.
Oh, yeah, Micky's great.
He's fantastic. He's really good at, like, breaking down complex concepts and offering really practical advice.
Yeah, definitely check him out, folks.
Definitely.
All right, well, that about wraps it up for our deep dive today.
Wow. That flew by.
It did.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It really does.
Right.
So remember, everyone...
Stay curious.
Stay curious, stay critical.
Stay critical.
And don't let anyone sell you magic beans.
Or crystals.
Or crystals, yeah.
For $50.
For $50.
Words to live by.
Absolutely. All right, well, we'll catch you all on the next deep dive.
See